Peace TV English, the solution for humanity.
Forward, young Muslims, wherever you are, in the shadow of the sun or by the light of a star, your supreme protector is Almighty Allah. Go forward, young Muslims, wherever you are. Go forward, young Muslims, whoever you are. Press forward and forward to the light of Allah, and repeat, Alhamdulillah. Go forward, young Muslims, whoever you are.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program, Teens and Parents. I am your host, Bilal Abdul Kareem. And in this show, we're going to be discussing how we can bridge the gap between parents and, who else? Of course, teens. You notice the name of the show. Dr. Yasser, please analyze what we just looked at.
Okay. There are two things in here. Parents have to pre-frame what they're telling their children or what they're telling their teenagers, meaning that, Taha, before you go out the second time, you know last Monday, like you went out Monday and you went out Wednesday, you know Monday you're late, okay? So today is Wednesday and you're asking me to go out again. I'm going to let you go out, but I don't want you to be late, because if you're late, you're not going to go out on a weekend. And you're going to clean the kitchen. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. You see, so before he goes out, I remind him of what he did on Monday. And I give him already, if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen to you. This is more precise. Okay. So it has an identification in his brain right away. So when he goes out, he knows what's going to happen to him. And it's already in there. He has a reference point. Okay, this is number one. Number two, responsibility. Teenagers have to learn from the early age that freedom doesn't come alone. Freedom comes with responsibility. Okay, the more freedom you want, the more responsibility you're going to have. Meaning that if you are asking me to go out so often, then you're going to have to be responsible for yourself, to honor your word. Or then you're going to have to be responsible for something else that you promised that you're going to do. So that's the price of freedom. Responsibility is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. And it's going to help the teenagers in another area, which is dependence versus independence. Teenagers have this struggle inside of them. They want to be independent. That's why they think that they know everything and they don't want to listen to the parents. And at the same time, they do not have the tools to be independent, so they are still dependent. And that causes conflict inside of them. That conflict turns into anger. So who do they get angry at? The closest people to them, the parents. Parents have to understand this conflict and have to understand how to deal with it.
So when does a parent know when to let go? You know, children don't come with instructions. You know, just add water or anything like that.
It would have been too easy.
That'd been too easy and we wouldn't be here now. And we would need you actually, because to help us to understand these things. But being that they don't come with instructions, how does a parent know when it's time to start letting their children do their own thing to some extent? When?
I tell you what, we usually say at the age of 14. That's when the child starts his socialization stage, from 14 to 21. Because you have the first stage from 0 to 7, that's imprint. The second stage from 7 to 14, that's modeling. They model their parents. And then the socialization is 14 to 21. That's when they start going away from home, be more with their friends, be more with the school, you know, going to parties or going to trips or whatever. And that's the whole socialization. That's when the parent start letting go a little bit, start having a different relationship with their children. They're not children anymore, do and don't, do and don't. No, they understand. They can communicate.
Taha,
Yes.
Would you prefer if your parents let you do whatever you wanted? Would you want that?
Yes.
You would. If they said, eat whatever you like, the refrigerator's there. If it doesn't please you, there's money on the table. Don't bother me. Me and your father watching TV. You go out when you want, you come home when you want. You get up when you want, go to school when you want. You do your own thing. Would that make you happy?
For a while, yeah.
For a while, but not long term.
No.
Why?
After a while, you start getting lonely in the house. No one's there to cook for you, clean your clothes.
Oh,
Talk
the
to
parents are
you.
just maids and butlers.
Like talk to you, everything.
That's the dependent
Uh-huh.
part in him. The independents want to go out, and the dependent wants somebody to still do the stuff for him. And don't get me wrong, I mean, too much freedom is not good. And too much responsibility, on the other hand, is not good. Or too much confinement is not good.
But do young people his age understand that?
No.
That too much freedom is not good?
No. That's how they get in trouble. That's why it's the parent's job to know when to pull, to know when to push, or to stand still. The parents have experience. They need to understand how to be a friend to their teenager. And being a friend, like, let's say if Taha is my son, I can go jogging with you. Why not? I can go swimming with you. The parents have to do activities with their children at that age, because before that, it's kind of difficult to do it. Even if they want to do it, it's difficult. But at the age of 14, 13, 14, going up, then you start doing these activities with them. And it makes them feel good about themselves.
Taha,
Yes.
how can your mother and father say to you, I love you, without using the words? Meaning, for example, your father may say to you, I love you because he would buy you a new bike. He didn't say I love you, but he's saying it with his actions. What gives you that impression, if you can name maybe one or two things that you, when your parents do it for you, you feel that they love you?
Like going out and buying new things for clothes, shoes, letting you go out a lot, stuff like that.
So it entails that they would go out with you. Would you consider that it would be a bonus for you if your father said, Taha, I could go with you, but I'm really, really busy. So instead, if I was going to go with you, I was only going to spend maybe $75 on a new pair of sneakers. Do sneakers still go for $75 these days? I don't know.
I don't know.
Do they?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Oh, I'm seeing my age is starting to show. But anyway, for $75. So, but I'm not going to go with you, Taha. I'm going to let you go by yourself, and I'm going to give you $150 to buy the sneakers that you want. Would you prefer that?
Yes.
You would prefer that over the father going with you?
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, he would prefer that because it's more benefit for him. But it's not the right thing to do at all, because parents have to exert, especially like a father with a son or a mother with a daughter, they have to go out of their way to do things with their children. Even though if they're busy, they have to make the time. And that comes into values. What do I value most? Is it my work? Is it money? Is it my children? You see, so prioritize your values, then act accordingly. So even though if I come home and I'm tired from work and stuff like that, what would I do? My son wants me to go out with him. I could just simply tell him, okay, it's close to you, like what you just said. Take more money and just go by yourself. What am I telling him?
Okay, you're not going to be able to say exactly, because this is not exactly an exact science, but spending time with the children, what is an optimal amount of time for a working parent? Now, don't answer, because we got to go to a break.
Okay.
And we don't want the summarized version. We want the long version to be scrutinized by Taha, inshallah. So, teens and parents, stay with us.
Myself and my parents is we don't see eye to eye on many issues. I don't need to go into more detail, but when you don't have a common outlook on life and school and everything like that, I mean, you're going to have this unstable relationship, and, you know, one side has to try their hardest. So, but I would say the main factor in the destruction of the family life would be the outcome of this television and entertainment industry, the digital industry, which is kind of, you know, I think that's the biggest obstruction to a big family bond. And they even say once families have dinner together, you know, the kids, they'll stay away from things like drugs and sex and so on and so forth. But now, okay, the dinners are killed because the kids are going upstairs.
Listening in the social work field is kind of like this unspoken rule of thumb that, you know, 90% of young people or teenagers or adolescents, when they're desiring some type of communication, it's really to be heard. And so parents could spend definitely more proactive time listening to their teenager. Often, I think what happens with parents and teenagers is a miscommunication from not listening, not active listening. And what active listening is being able to listen open-minded, not with a preconceived judgment or notion, and being able to regurgitate the information that you received back to the person who's giving you the information, to where they know that you listened to them and that they were being heard.
Forward, young Muslims, wherever you are, in the shadow of the sun or by the light of a star.
Zain Bhika and Daud Wansby Ali.
Hey kids, time is very precious.
This life is a gift from Allah.
Utilize this gift for here and hereafter.
Enjoy this gift in the light of the Quran and Hadith.
Enjoy Islam with us, Zain and Dawood.
Enjoying Islam with Zain and Daud. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 10:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Marriage or divorce?
What's Islamic ruling?
Nikah.
Love book.
Solution or problem? Heaven or hell?
There is a misconception.
You choose. Beauty, wealth, family status, virtue. Decide what you want. Decide your choice. Be sad or be happy. It's your choice. Join Dr. Zakir Naik in Better Half or Bitter Half every Friday at 6:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 9:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Explore the options. Match the qualities. Assure the success.
What happens at school, or more specifically, what happens inside the classroom. Good qualities of classrooms: interactive, challenging, collaborative, distributive focus, student-centered. Let's together examine the quality of education that is provided to our children. To judge this quality precisely, join me on Peace TV.
Join Dr. Mamdou Muhammad in Teaching at School every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 4 p.m. and repeat telecast at 2:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
Unfortunately, it's not taking that big effect anymore nowadays, because media is affecting everyone much faster. Like I can tell you, a guy can sit in his room watching a movie or a series for 20 hours maybe a week,
instead of talking to his dad for 1 hour or 2 hours a week. So he's going to listen to the movie or to the series more than listening to his dad. So this is what I think.
Listening in the social work field is kind of like this unspoken rule of thumb that, 90% of young people or teenagers or adolescents, when they're desiring some type of communication, it's really to be heard. And so parents could spend definitely more proactive time listening to their teenager. Often, I think what happens with parents and teenagers is a miscommunication from not listening, not active listening. And what active listening is being able to listen open-minded, not with a preconceived judgment or notion, and being able to regurgitate the information that you received back to the person who's giving you the information, to where they know that you listened to them and that they were being heard.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. Okay, we are here with our two guests, Dr. Yasser Al-Ma'nawi, who is our resident psychologist. And we also have our young man, Taha Thompson, from Norfolk, Virginia in America. He is Taha, Dad, stay home, just give me the money, Thompson, as we just found out. Okay, we're going to get back into it. Dr. Yasser, we tried to pose a question to you. An optimal amount of time. Give us a formula for a father who works a 9 to 5 and wants to establish a solid bond with his children. Give us something.
There is no such thing an amount of time. We're talking about quality, not quantity. Because you could spend all the time with your children and you're not there, emotionally or mentally. You're just there physically. That wouldn't mean anything. So we're talking about quality time. What do you give to them? Okay? When my son is at home and he knows I come home very tired, and then I go out with him because he wants something. That means something to him.
Do you agree with that, Taha?
Yes.
It does mean something.
Yeah, quality time's a lot better.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And this is what a lot of people don't see. They think that money buys everything, but it doesn't. Okay, because when, let's say, go to that same example. I'll give you the 150 and you go buy your own shoes. What did I actually tell Taha?
Take the 150 and go buy some shoes.
Yeah. I told them something else. It's the unspoken words. And that's what they don't see, but they understand it deep inside. That is, I don't have enough time for you. I'm tired. Here, take the money and just go. What did I tell him? I don't want you. Just go. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? Rejection. When you reject your teenager, they're going to have to go out and make their own family, make their own bond with somebody else. Okay? That's how we get into a lot of trouble, which I think we don't want to talk about now.
Well, that's going to lead us actually into another episode dealing with gangs and those things that the children fall into outside of the home. Taha?
Yes.
Let's say that you want to send a message to your parents. Something that they don't know about you. In other words, Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. You can trust me. I'm responsible. That which I was accused of, it wasn't me. Whatever it is, if you could send any message that you could to your parents, the most important message or two, what would it be?
Probably I love them. But you wouldn't want to say it to them because you'll feel embarrassed. But probably I love them.
Dr. Yasser.
Can I say something? Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we're talking about. You shouldn't be embarrassed because love is just a feeling. And you should tell them. Whoever you love, not only parents. And that's what I was going to say. Parents need to teach their children before they become teenagers to identify their feelings and then communicate it effectively. That's a way to get to know yourself, and that's a way for the parents to get to know their children. There have to be open communication.
You know, it's an interesting point to mention here that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, which means that when you love someone, that you should inform them of that. And I believe that the wisdom behind it, myself as a parent, you know, when my children come to me and they say, I love you, it just, you know, I'll let you in a little secret. I don't know if they're watching this episode or not. I hope that they aren't. But it's very difficult for me to refuse a request after a genuine hug and I love you, Dad, or I love you, Pop, or something like that. And then you're, oh, my son. Oh, yeah. Incidentally, Pop, I would like a new bike. Get out of here. You know? No, but it has an effect. So I'm saying to you that, you know, the Quran and the Sunnah are always relevant. And if you would want to say to your parents that you love them, I think, and Allah knows best, that if you said that to them, they would love you even more for saying that. And that would be the strength that has to come from inside you to go to them and to tell them that. Do you think that they would feel shy to say, Taha, I love you too?
No.
No? Why?
I don't know.
You don't know, because they're grown-ups. They're not supposed to, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to have it all together. Young people feel like that.
Yeah.
As parents, they're supposed to have it all together. When there's a problem, you're caught in that communication loop, and he's supposed to fix it. And that's how it is. Well, we're coming close to the end of our episode, but before we do, I'd like to pose a question to Dr. Yasser first, and then to Taha briefly. Tell us 2 points, something brief, something that the viewers can hold on to. We don't have a lot of time. The question is, how can parents improve their relationship with their children? Give us 1 or 2 points that the people can implement right now.
Acceptance, love, and understanding.
Accepting of what?
Acceptance of their views, their opinions, and their love and understanding to them, given that they have good boundaries at home. Because acceptance, love, and understanding without boundaries, it could turn out badly.
Taha.
Yes.
The opposite. How can teens improve their relationship with their parents? They're teenagers watching you. Tell us, how can those teenagers improve their relationship with their parents? What should they be doing?
Express their feelings to them. And talk to them more often. Normally a teenager wouldn't talk to their parents about anything. They normally go to their friends or someone else they know they could talk to that wouldn't tell their parents.
Why would they not talk to their parents? I think it's clear that they know that their parents love them, but why wouldn't they talk to them?
Mostly fear, scared.
Fear of rejection?
Yeah, maybe.
Dr. Yasser, is that what they fear?
It's rejection and punishment. But you see, let me say something to you. I don't want you or any teenager to be controlled by fear. Because fear can only take you in the opposite direction of where you want to be. You need to be driven by love and excitement, not by fear. Okay? So don't be afraid of your parents or of anything, as long as you're not doing anything wrong. All right?
Inshallah.
Well, okay. Inshallah, we're going to have to conclude our episode here. Taha, I want to thank you a lot for coming. And if I asked you, you think you might come back again?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. As long as we have some sneaker money. Right. Well, we'll talk to his father. He'll supply the sneaker money. Dr. Yasser, as always, it's a pleasure, having you here. And please, we would like for you to come back also.
Thank you for having me.
Inshallah ta'ala. Well, we're going to wrap up this particular session of teens and parents. We hope that you got some benefit from what we discussed here today. Now, if I can leave you with one last message, and that is, once you've finished watching this episode, I don't want you just to get up and to walk away. No. I want you to take a second, jot down on a piece of paper a couple of points and issues that were covered from both sides of the coin, both sides of the fence, and ask yourself a question. How can I improve my relationship with my son right now, or with my daughter right now? And also, for the young people, what can I do or say to my father that will improve my relationship with him? I am your host, Bilal Abdul Kareem. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I would like to say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Go forward, young Muslims, wherever you are, in the shadow of the sun or by the light of a star. Your supreme protector is Almighty Allah. Go forward, young Muslims, wherever you are. Go forward, young Muslims, whoever you are. Press forward and forward to the light of Allah, and repeat, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
Although Christianity doesn't have a single credible source to justify her claims of the crucifixion, she yet continues to propagate her myth. They do this by hiding many of their deceptions behind cleverly designed doctrines. Did you know that Christianity stands or falls at the cross? So how did they do this? Join me for this series called The Cross Question.
Probe the past that proves Christianity in practice is fictitious in The Cross Questioned, every Monday at 6 p.m. and repeat telecast at 5:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Their advice,
who was raised under the banner of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Their guidance,
their foundation is based on the Quran and the teaching of the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Their example,
when the sun is above the heads of the people.
Sayyid Raghi.
This young man or young lady, on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will be under that shade, the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Going in the divine direction, blessing of Allah, the world of Muslim youth, every Friday at 3:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 2 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
A friendly message by Dr. Zakir. The Islamic bomb.
Islam comes from the Arabic root word salam or salam, which means peace. It is also derived from the root word silm, which means to submit your will to Almighty God. People who worry that one day nuclear weaponry will fall in the hands of the Arabs, they fail to realize that the Islamic bomb, the bomb of peace, has already been dropped. It fell the day Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born.
Peace TV, the solution for humanity.